All right, today we're diving into a fascinating piece of writing called The Cell's Secret Hum. And the whole idea is that underneath all the noise and chaos of our daily lives, there's this secret hum. It's a subtle energy inside our bodies, and we're going to explore how ancient wisdom and modern science are finally starting to agree on what this energy is and how it powers our very being.
The source material kicks off with this line, and it just perfectly sets the tone, doesn't it? It's basically asking us to just stop for a second, tune out all the external noise, and try to listen for this internal song that we might not even realize is playing.
So, this is where our journey really begins, uncovering this inner symphony. The source suggests that life itself has this pulse, this vibration that starts deep down inside our own cells. And that leads us to a really powerful way of thinking about this, your body as an internal battery. We're going to look at how these really old ideas about life force are actually lining up with what modern science is just now beginning to measure and understand.
So, what are we talking about here? The source material calls it life force energy. Now, you've probably heard other names for it, right? In yogic traditions, it's prana. In Chinese medicine, it's qi. Others called it anima. But they're all pointing to the exact same idea, that fundamental, vital spark that makes living things, well, live.
And here's the kicker. This is where things get really interesting. The source is very clear. This whole life force thing, it is not just a metaphor. It's talking about real, measurable, bioelectrical currents and vibrations that are happening inside your body at this very second, underpinning everything you do. And it gets even cooler when you zoom in. The source text wants us to imagine each and every one of our trillions of cells as its own little power station. Think about that. It's not just an idea. It's a biological fact that every single cell in your body has to maintain an electrical charge just to function. It is, quite literally, a tiny battery. And all those tiny batteries make up the big battery that is you.
So what does this actually mean for you day to day? Well, the difference is like night and day. When your cellular batteries are fully charged up, you get vibrant health, mental clarity, that feeling of resilience. But when that charge gets depleted, that's when you start to feel fatigue, stiffness, and what the source cleverly calls dis-ease.
Okay, so that raises a pretty important question, right? How do we recharge? In this next part, we're going to explore how modern technology, as the source describes it, can actually act as a bridge to help us harmonize that inner symphony.
The source brings up some modern approaches using a technology called sunrise as an example. And its core principle is fascinating. It's not about blasting the body with energy. It's way more subtle than that. It's designed to gently coax your cells, like a conductor leading an orchestra, back into their perfect, natural harmony.
So, how in the world does it work? According to the source, it's a three-step dance. First, it helps enhance the cell's own natural electrical charge. Second, it works on a bigger scale to harmonize the body's energetic fields, aiming for that total balance. And third, it supports your metabolism, specifically by optimizing how your body uses hydrogen to create fuel. Pretty cool stuff.
So that's the sciencey part, the mechanism. But what does it actually feel like? What are the real-world results of having these optimally charged cells? According to the source, it all comes down to three things: flexibility, hydration, and flow.
The text has this beautiful quote, "Your cells remember their optimal state." I love that. It suggests that our bodies have this deep, innate intelligence, a kind of muscle memory for what it feels like to be healthy and fluid, and we can actually tap back into it.
And to make this super clear, the source uses this brilliant sponge analogy. Imagine a stiff, dry sponge. It's rigid, brittle, it could crack easily. That's like our cells when they're dehydrated and low on energy. But when they're optimally charged and hydrated, they're like a supple, wet sponge, flexible, resilient, and full of grace.
And this is how that tiny, microscopic health translates into your actual life. We're talking about smoother movement in your joints, less of that nagging stiffness when you get out of bed, and just a better overall resilience to physical stress. It's really about reclaiming a kind of effortless grace in your own body.
Which brings us to what this is really all about, the ultimate goal here. This isn't just about feeling a little bit better. The source text suggests it's about making a fundamental shift from just surviving to truly, genuinely thriving.
The idea is that our bodies are designed for so much more than just getting through the day. The goal is to unlock that latent potential,
to move beyond just basic functioning and into a state of real vitality and profound well-being.
So let's just recap the practical benefits here. We're talking about a boost in natural, sustained energy, not the jittery caffeine kind. Enhanced hydration and flexibility, smoother movement, a deeper sense of holistic balance, and restoring your body's own optimal rhythm. Now, the source doesn't just leave you with theory. It wants you to actually feel this for yourself. It encourages a shift from just knowing this stuff to directly experiencing it through a series of simple awareness exercises it calls the Dragon Trials.
And these aren't some complicated rituals. They're simple, powerful practices you can do anywhere. For instance, intentional hydration isn't just about gulping down water. It's about taking a moment to actually feel it hydrating your body, or doing these little micro movement scans to notice where you're stiff or where you feel flow. They're all just simple ways to start listening to that inner hum.
And that leaves us with this one powerful, final question from the source text. After exploring all this, the question really becomes personal. It's for you. Are you ready to turn up the volume on your life song?